Hey there, folks on LinkedIn and Facebook. Fred, you want to share the live stream? Thank you, Fred, for joining me today. Yeah, so Fred is in New York City right now, and I am here in Massachusetts. I'm the executive health coach and host of Unbreakable Health Summit that's starting tonight at 7 p.m. live Eastern Standard Time. And we have a rock star panel of experts each week, like going to explode your mind in terms of the knowledge and the wisdom and the inspiration to really take your health back in a whole new way. So just a little bit. Hi, Fred. I'll just say hi. And
Hey.
do you want to say anything or say hello to the audience?
Hello, audience. Happy to be here. Hopefully, I'll answer the questions well.
So this is a spotlight on you, and Fred is one of our 13 expert panelists that will show up on the second episode on July 18th on Monday night next week. But we begin today. The transmission begins tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the link is going across the screen of how to join in and register if you haven't. But a little bit about Fred. Fred has been, I call him the father of exercise. And Fred has been involved with exercise ever since he became a member of the Charles Atlas Club when he was 10 years old. And he began training clients in the early 80s at several New York City leading health clubs, including Equinox and New York Health and Racquet Club. And he began his SlowBurn system as a physical therapy aide at the Hospital for Joint Disease Sports Medicine Center in New York City. In 1994, along with one of New York's leading orthopedic surgeons, he co-founded and directed a physical therapy clinic called Metro Sportsmed at the New York Methodist Hospital in New York City. And he founded SlowBurn Personal Training as a rehabilitative exercise center in 2015. And he trains top CEOs, celebrities, best-selling authors, journalists, and TV personalities, including in the past, he's had work with Tony Robbins and Cynthia Nixon from Sex and the City. So cool. And in 2001, he co-wrote a book called The SlowBurn Fitness Revolution with Dr. Michael and Mary Dan Eads. It is one of the best-selling fitness books in Random House history and has been translated into 4 languages. He also wrote a second book called Strong Kids, Healthy Kids that teaches weightlifting for children. And he has appeared on NBC's Today Show 4 times. He's been on CNN's The Biz, ABC Morning Show, NBC Live at 5, Fox 5 News, The 700 Club, ABC Eyewitness News, and so many more. And he's appeared in numerous podcasts and so forth. He's also been interviewed by the New York Times, the Washington Post, and National Public Radio, NPR, WFAN, and so many more. So Fred is a board member of the Nutrition and Metabolism Society, and he is a certified trainer through the American Council on Exercise. He lives in New York City, and he truly is the father of exercise. And Fred and I work together in my duration working with clients in New Jersey at his Montclair studio, helping clients lose up to 100 pounds of body fat and really kind of change the way they're eating. And so we've been really successful as a team doing that. And so tell us, Fred, What is slow burn? Tell the audience what is slow burn and how is it different than any other kind of training exercise out there?
Well, thanks for that great intro, by the way. You know, so these days, I think it's pretty common knowledge that strength training or weightlifting, resistance training is the single most important exercise that any person can do. It lets you do all of your physical, it lets you run and jog and play tennis, play golf better. So the question then for me at least was, what is, number one, the safest way to strength train, and what is the most time efficient way to do that and have it be effective? So slow burn is a very slow motion, meaning safe method of lifting weights that allows you to build muscle, build strength, build bone density, improve cardiovascular capacity, flexibility in just two, even one, but really 1 or 2 30-minute sessions a week. And you can either do it in your home or you could do it in a gym. You don't need special equipment. It's just a very safe and time efficient way to reap the benefits of weightlifting.
So tell us about the time efficiency piece of it. So that's a really unique aspect of slow burn personal training and the slow burn method. So can you tell the audience a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, it's to be honest, it's not necessarily an aspect of slow burn, although we use the concept in slow burn. But what most people don't realize is that the benefits of exercise, if the exercise is beneficial, come when you're resting from the exercise. So if you perform a productive exercise on, say, Monday, you're not getting the benefits of that exercise till Wednesday or Thursday. So you want to essentially what you're trying to do is to discover the least amount of exercise you need to produce the best benefits. And that's, and in my book, I make a very separate distinction between productive exercise and physical activity. So walking, riding your bike, doing yoga, those things you can do every day because they're not necessarily designed to cause a positive tissue adaptation. They might here and there, but resistance training is specifically designed to give you those benefits. And again, you only get those benefits when you're resting from the exercise, not while you're doing the exercise. That's a very important point for people to realize, because a lot of people exercise too much.
Right. And especially those people who are stressed out and hormonally imbalanced to begin with. And what I've learned and coaching clients over a decade now is when they come in with over 30 pounds, 20, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds of extra weight, I say, don't do cardio right now because you're more prone to injury. And it's actually going to amp up your cortisol and your cortisol stress hormones. And when we are in stress mode and cortisol is amped up, we can't lose weight. And that's a very common myth. So that's a common myth about how strength training benefits happen during resting periods, right? Is that right?
Any exercise that's beneficial, strength training included, the benefits of the exercise are experienced when you're fully recovered from the exercise. While you're doing the exercise, exercise is sort of a controlled detriment.
Okay.
And then your body has, like, if you want to get a suntan, you go out in the sun for an hour, you're red. You're not tan, you're red. And if you get too much sun, you get sunburned, and then you have to start all over again. Right. So you want to get out in the sun for just enough time and get out. Let your body then produce the melanin and produce the tan, then go back in the sun. So it has like medicine, there's a dose response relationship.
I like that analogy. That's awesome. So let me ask you this, and I always ask you this question.
Yeah.
How old is your eldest client in all of your history of 30 years of training people?
Oh, the oldest client I ever trained was Magda, and she was 96.
Wow.
And
That's
then Hank Greenberg was 94. I have a client now who's 89. I have probably 3 or 4 people in their early 80s. Dr. Mitch, he's 85. So, and the truth is, it doesn't matter what age you are. Let's say right now I'm talking to you and you're 80 and you've never done any weightlifting, any strength training, you can absolutely start now. And you can absolutely build significant strength and muscle tissue, even though you're 80 years old.
And that's so important, right? And no matter what age you're at, whether you're 30s, 40s, 50s, people think that they get to their 60s and it's like, oh, here's what I have for the rest of my life. But it's the choice between staying stronger, having mobility, and the strength to be able to be mobile.
That's right. And it's all together: mobility, balance, not falling on when you fall on the ice, not having your hips break. All of that is encompassed in strength, muscular strength. That's what you're trying to improve upon and then maintain as you grow older and older and older, because that's how you function. Getting up out of a chair, that's all muscles. No matter what it is you do, it's all dependent upon the strength and the health of your muscles.
Yeah. And, just even coming out of pandemic times, some people, went in one direction and got more active, right? Because they had more time, or they were more home. They were home and they had more time to actually move their bodies or weight train or whatever exercise. And then there's some people who kind of became very sedentary during the lockdown. And I know for me, I stopped, I paused my training during the pandemic. And when I was coming out of it in the spring, I was like, I felt weaker. I wasn't like, I was starting to get little knee twinges and things like that structurally. So how long does it take, actually, Fred? Do you know, to actually lose muscle mass or lose strength over time?
Well, the research seems to suggest that if you're inactive, meaning you're not doing any form of strength training, in other words, you could be walking every day, riding your bike, but that does not take the place of strength training. You're still going to lose muscle mass and strength no matter how active you are. The research seems to suggest that you lose about a pound of muscle, half a pound to a pound of muscle per year. And as you grow up, starting at around age 40, and that accelerates as you grow older into your 50s, 60s, and 70s, because we don't process the proteins the same way. Older people lean more protein, and most older people are told by their doctors that they should lower their fat intake because they're going to get a heart attack. And where is all your fat found? In your meat, in your fish. There's no fat in fruit. There's no fat in vegetables. So the older person starts eating less meat, and that accelerates muscle loss. So in order to combat that, to halt and reverse that, and especially like during the pandemic, all you really needed to do is 15 minutes worth of resistance training using your own body weight.
Oops, sorry for that. Came from my speaker. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that is the thing that you want to, like if you look at a professional athlete, a typical professional athlete, their career, soccer player, baseball player, their career is over when they're 35, unless they're a phenom. They might last to 40. But so if playing soccer, if running around on a soccer field and running around intensely actually caused a positive adaptation, why isn't a soccer player at the top of his game when he's 35?
Right.
Because running around a soccer field doesn't build strength. It does not maintain your strength. And that's why so many athletes today lift weights, especially runners and other athletes. So.
Yeah, golfers, Tiger Woods, Yeah, absolutely. Strength training is really the key to anti-aging and longevity, right?
It is the fountain of youth when it comes to exercise. It really is.
And what do you always say, Fred? If you're not actively
you're not actively making yourself stronger, you are actively becoming weaker.
That's right. I love that saying. Like, you need to coin that. You need to coin that. Like, if you're not actively making yourself stronger, you're actively making yourself weaker.
Yeah.
Just like
Let me be clear to the audience. Someone might be thinking, well, Fred, I do actively make myself stronger. I play tennis 4 times a week. No,
mm,
no. Like I mentioned before, physical activity does not replace strength training.
mhm, mhm,
So it's a very important thing for people to keep in mind.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
the strength training is going to enhance their game.
Mhm,
So they're going to hit the golf ball longer. They're going to hit the tennis ball harder. They're going
mhm.
to have more endurance when they play.
Absolutely. And I play in women's leagues with women who are in their 50s, 60s, and even in their 70s. And you know for sure when there is weakness. They're just more prone to injury, and it's kind of scary. They're swinging this metal golf club around and at high velocity and speed, or as fast as they can go, club head speed. And as you age, your club head speed gets slower. But anyway, we don't need to talk about golf. So last question. This is so good. I hope everybody is getting something out of this. If you are watching this live with us, or if you have a question in the replay, chat it into the comments, and I'm happy to bring those questions into the summit, because you're going to have the opportunity to have a 10-minute Q&A with all the panelists on each episode. I really encourage you. This is a free Unbreakable Health Summit, and it's going to be jam-packed, really, with potent medicine on each topic. So tonight is about nutrition, immune health, and hormones. And we have Dr. Maida and also Dr. Betty Sue, as well as Azizi Berkland joining us from Bali. And next week, Fred will be on as one of the experts with Jackie Castro Cooper, who is a holistic physical therapist from Mississippi, and also Kristen Mashonas, who is a certified yoga therapist. So next week is going to be jam-packed. The third week is going to be amazing. We're going to be talking about emotional resilience and relationship loss, and what to do. We're going to be talking to a love coach and a grief coach, and it's just going to be, every session is going to be amazing. So definitely register to join, so you can log in and hear for, get the golden nuggets each week. So last question, Fred. So what does unbreakable mean for you, or define unbreakable for the audience?
Well, as I see it, if something is unbreakable, like if you say this glass is unbreakable, or what you're really saying is this is super strong, super resilient, impervious to harm or injury. So when a person is unbreakable, I guess you could look at it in terms of body, mind, and spirit. When they're unbreakable, they're doing things in their lives to make themselves stronger. They're doing things to make themselves better. And like for example, with strength training, if you strength train properly, you build muscle and you build bone density. So you build, especially as women get older, as they build bone density, their bones become less breakable. So to me, unbreakable really means both in terms of mind, body, and soul, the improvement and the continued improvement in strength.
I love that. That is awesome. So hope everyone got some really good takeaways. This is just a preview, just a little sampling of Fred and the conversation and the dialogue that we're going to have on Tuesday, July 18th. On each of the episodes. But next week, please join Fred on July 18th, Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going live with all the panelists, and we're going to all be defining, after an unprecedented time in history, This dialogue has been curated to bring, expert health and mindset practitioners and coaches to really serve you and to support you during this time. And so it really is an invitation to begin again into your next chapter. So you see the link going across the screen. It should be also in the description. Register right now, and don't forget to join in tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be going live at 7 o'clock promptly. And we have 1 hour with all these experts every single Monday through August 1st. So don't miss out. And thanks, Fred, for joining us and for sharing your wisdom as the father of exercise. You are awesome. You continue to become more and more youthful as time goes on, and you're just a really good role model for all of us. Thank you so much. And I'm so honored you're going to be joining us on the panel next week.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, everyone. We will see you again back on channel here with some more lives this week, spotlighting all the expert panelists, over this week, next week, each week, we will be going live like this. So stay tuned and stay strong and stay positive. We'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.